Hey guys, good evening. I'm going to start the stream just a few minutes later, about 8:15. We just got back to the house. We have supper, so I'm going to eat. So if you give me just about 15 minutes, we'll go grab a bite, then I'll come back and we'll start this live stream. Hey Wyatt, I see you in the chat already. But yeah, just give me to about 8:15 and then check back in. We'll get the stream rolling. But I'll just put up the start screen till then. But thank you guys for stopping in right at 8 o'clock to try and catch me here. Just give me till about 8:15 and we'll do this. All right, I'll be right back. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Thank you for waiting for me so I could get a little bit of supper. I appreciate it. Everything's just a little bit behind tonight, so, well, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll put this on silence, and we will get right into this. So I see you guys chatting. I appreciate that. Eric, hey, good evening. Wyatt, I already said good evening to you. It's good to see you guys all showing up in the chat right on time. I apologize, I was not. I have the duty of going down and picking my buddy up from work until we got back and we got some food cooked up. It was just, the evening ran away with us. So, guesses for Randall's supper? Well, Matthew, I'm afraid it's not all that exciting. We just have burgers. But I'll tell you what, they were some banging burgers. At Christmas, my mother sent us a care package. It was the Omaha Steaks package. So we had this whole bunch of meats and stuff from Omaha Steak. And we just had some burgers from it tonight. So we cooked those up. But it was good. It was good. And I made some little mini potatoes. So it's got like kind of like a lot of butter, a lot of salt and pepper and stuff. But it had Italian flavoring, like Italian seasoning and all that. And those they were little flavor bombs, man. The potatoes were the perfect accent for these rockin' burgers. And the cheese we used was it was like horseradish flavored cheese. It was incredible. Really good. Really good. But no walleye tonight. No walleye. The truth is, we ate the last of the walleye. So my fridge is bare of walleye. So now I have yellow perch and crappie that I'm on too. So not a bad consolation prize. I think I have a hair in my mouth. Excuse me. Matt says Cohen has his money on pizza. Right, sure. Good evening, birds. Good to see you. Great. So thank you guys for being here. If you haven't come to the stream before, we do this every Tuesday, and I'm committed to that up to Fishin and Grillin'. And Fishin' and Grillin' is the end of March there. So we're going to do this right through March, right through the spring, right up to whenever the spring bite gets there, whenever it's more pressure on me for a business. And, I won't be as present to do these. I might be on the water. Good evening, Mark. Your walleye didn't last long. I ate it quick. Yeah. That's the problem with walleye, right? The only problem with walleye is that it runs out too fast. You ate it at the appropriate rate. It just ran out too fast. That's all. But good evening, everybody. Good evening. So I have a few things on my mind. Honestly, I'm not going to keep you as long tonight. And there's a reason for that, which I'll get to later. I wanted to talk, of course, about fishing. And I kind of, I don't want to rush it or anything, but I think we're all here. I think it's okay. I think if it's all right if we finally just get right into it, right? But good evening. You can tell I'm a little bit amped here. All right. So my title that I use for tonight is Where's the Ice? I think I just used that because we're all kind of thinking it. We're wondering if it's springtime yet or if it's still winter. You know that we're in that weird time in Pennsylvania where we get that freeze-thaw kind of thing overnight. It's unfortunate that it's not perfect for either. So it's not spring yet, and it's not hard, cold winter. We can't go through the ice. Good evening, Glitchy. Good to see you. So we're at that awkward period, but it hits us every year. It shouldn't surprise us. We're just in it. And if I got to be honest, it's not my favorite time of year. As far as fishing goes, I would prefer to either know that I can be on the water or know that I can go out and try to do something else, like ice or something completely altogether different. Go out hunting, hiking, traveling, whatever it is. Go to the movies, go bowling, whatever it is. Just kind of switch off from fishing. But the truth is, my switch isn't turned off. I'm actually thinking about fishing. And so I am going to open up my schedule here for the weekend. So I'm looking at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm planning on going fishing. So if you guys want to go fishing with me, those are the dates that those are the days this weekend I'm actually going to go. And I'm watching the weather. I think that those are the days to be shooting. So fortunately, if you're trying to get out on the boat, the weekend does look good. The moon looks right. The weather looks good. Just relatively speaking, the pressure system isn't too bad or anything. So it seems like it should be an okay bite. I think the absolute best day to be on the water would actually be Thursday. Thursday, probably afternoon through the evening, would probably be the very best block of time. If you have complete freedom, Thursday, go down at lunchtime and fish through till dark. I think that's going to be your peak opportunity, the highest activity of the fish on the water. So that's just my recommendations. You guys can look at the charts and everything like you want to and decide for yourself. But I will not be on the water Thursday. I'm looking at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, though. So those 3 days, if you guys want to get out and do some fishing, I don't do a whole lot of chartering on the weekends, but this weekend I am. So this is your opportunity. If you've been waiting for a weekend charter trip with me, let's do it. What would we get into? I'm not totally positive, but I guarantee we're going to do some trolling, and we're also going to do some jigging. So it's going to be one of those mixed trips where we do a little bit of everything, and we'll probably even do some searching together. Good evening, Doug. So it'll be active, if you will. You guys know when you get on the boat with me, things can change. We adapt. We try to change up what we're doing and go after them. And it's a learning experience, too. So if you come out, you get to see how I go through that process as well. Finding them, get on them, then catch them. That's how I like to do it. I like to run and gun. I like the idea of going fishing and it feeling like spot and stalk. You ever do spot and stalk hunting? Where you walk around until you see them, then you move in, swing downwind from them, get a shot on them, and take them. That's spot and stalk. That's how I like to do my fishing. That's probably what we'll get into with a little bit of trolling mixed in. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you let me know. Good evening, Harold. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome back to the chat. Appreciate you being here, man. So there was a little conversation in the last stream about the 28th. The 28th, now I'm talking about April. This is way out. April 28th, we don't have a date. We don't have a name for what we're thinking here, but I think it's real. And the only thing I think we're pretty solid on is the date, the 28th. And there's going to be a theme. The theme is going to be veterans. So I wanted to talk about that for just a little bit so you guys understand what the vision for it is. And I actually want to talk to you guys about this. The people who are coming to this stream, you guys are regularly watching, you understand what this charter's doing and kind of this group, what this community's doing. And if there's a place in it and you want to be involved with it, I, of course, want you to be involved with it. So the two things we're looking at is the 28th, that's a date, and the theme is going to be veterans. Veterans on the 28th. I know there's going to be food, and I know it's going to be about fishing, but it's real kind of general right now. We're still working out some of the details and such, but I'll give you more of that as it becomes known to me. I'll make sure you guys know. Glitchy, you say you've seen a trucker do something unreal today. Not hating on them, because used to be, but this guy took it too far. Share, Glitchy. Absolutely. You can share it in the chat. I are a trucker. We got truckers in the chat, buddy. A lot of the guys in the chat, even if they're not truckers, they're in the trucking world in some way. They work the docks. They run heavy machinery. Whatever it is, they're interacting with truckers. So I think that's just the general... That's the general public around Lewistown Lake. I'm pretty sure of that. Feels like we're like the blue-collar culture here. So the 28th, the idea with this veterans thing is we're trying to essentially take a step back here. Last year, the very best stuff that I did with the charters, there was two constants in it. Two constants with the charter last year that were the very best part of everything that I did. One was the kids. Having kids on the boat and going fishing with the family and stuff, that was so fulfilling for your heart. And it was just a good time. We did not have a bad trip when there were kids on the boat. You know what I mean? It was just a blast. And number two was the veterans. The veterans got together and we went out on the boat a couple times, and I had a lot of veterans on the boat this year, even if it was just like a charter trip. And the veterans brought like the grit that's necessary for fishing. They saw it through the down times. Whenever there wasn't catching happening, they were still right there in it. They never lost their focus. These are true veterans. And so those two things this past year really stuck out in my head. And so moving forward, I, of course, want to see more of that because it worked so well and it was so fulfilling. So the 28th of April, this is going to be a veterans organized veterans. This is going to be organized for veterans to get them out onto the water. And this is where you all come in. If you have an idea, some way that you can actually help to channel this so we can reach more veterans and do this, I need help doing this. I'm such a small charter, guys. I don't have a whole lot of pull. I fortunately have this channel and this community, and that's it. It doesn't go that far without you guys' help. That's the end of it. It doesn't get any further out than that. So I want your help with this. So the idea is to get veterans out and doing some fishing. I still have to, it's still business. I have a lot of opportunities that come to me almost weekly now, and most of them I have to turn down. This one I don't want to turn down. This is a real opportunity to give back to the veterans in our community. And so I want to work toward this common goal. And I think you guys understand where I'm going with this. I do need to charge for these trips. There's no way that I can just take people fishing day after day, especially if this really takes hold and there's a lot of folks going out. I'm going to do what I can, as I always have. I'm going to continue to do. This is what I'm proposing. On my website, let me just bring it up here so I can show it to you. But what I'm going to do is make it possible for folks to get involved to try and get these guys out on the water. And there it is. So let me share my screen with you. So I just went to my fishing channel. It's randallrydes.com is what it is. But this is where you do all the booking for the trips. I don't want you guys to book a trip. I mean, of course I do, but that's not what I'm talking about. All the way at the bottom of the page here, there's this yellow donate button right here. What I'm going to do is, as donations come in, and I don't care if it's $10, $20, I don't care if it's $5, whatever it is, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep count of that. Whenever it comes to the donation, put in the notes, veteran. So do a donation. Say you put in $20, you do donation, and in the comment box, just put in veteran. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that in a separate account to pay for veterans to go fishing. And I'm going to make that go as far as I can possibly make it go. What I mean is, if I get enough to cover the cost of a full charter, so I get for $300, it gets set up, that's a charter, and I can take people out and fish on it. That's no problem. But if I end up with, let's say I end up with like, I can pay for 2 charters, so I get $600, and then there's $200 that comes in on top of that. I'm going to take that $200. I'm going to take some veterans fishing. I'm going to fill the boat with veterans. As long as I can justify it to do this, I'm going to do it. So all that to say, you don't have to buy in a complete charter for a veteran to go out. If you want to do this, you can just do a donation, and I will bank it, and I'll keep it in a separate account to cover the expense of taking these guys out fishing. Now, on the 28th, when we get together, I'll talk about how much was earned, and I'm going to be very transparent on this. I want to make sure you guys know that money went for the veterans to go fishing. And I have the freedom to stretch that as far as I want, and you best believe I'm going to stretch it. So if you guys want to get involved with that, that's how you do it. Just do the randallrydes.com. Let me do it again. Just randallrydes.com. You'll see my ugly mug up at the top, and Zachy over here holding the Laker. And then down all the way on the bottom, there's a donate button right there. And that's what you click on, and you send your donation in. Just put in the comment there, veteran. And if it doesn't have a comment, I'll just assume that it's for the veterans. So if you forget to put the comment in there, it's not a big deal. I am my office staff, so I'm the only one who's going to be working with this. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're thinking for the 28th. We're going to get together. We're going to have a meal. and we're going to have veterans show up for that. I'll announce, what was generated as far as income and how I plan to apply that to get guys out fishing. I'll be talking about it here on the live streams, and I'm hoping to make at least one video from one of those trips, or maybe I'll do a collage of the catches or something like that so you guys can watch it later. It's going to be, I think it might be, hopefully, if this works out, if this takes hold and stuff, hopefully it's a big part of what the channel does, or what the charter does year to year. Let me take a break. I want to read your comments here for a second. All right, you're good. Glitchy's sharing the story. You guys can read that one up. I'm going to let you guys read it, but I'm going to continue with the chat here, with the live stream. But good evening, guys. Thank you so much for stopping in for this. I appreciate it. I really want to press upon you, though. This weekend is a great weekend to get out and fish for Lakers, especially. They're going to be up in the column. They're going to be all through the column. I don't think you want to go any shallower than, I'd say, like 20 feet. So when you're pulling your spoons, keep them at 20 feet or 20 feet of depth or deeper. But find where they are, find the depth they're at, and go target them. I'm going to do a lot of jigging because I think there's going to be some deep ones. They're going to be down at 120, 140 feet. So I'm going to go find them, and I'm going to jig on them. And hopefully you do too. And if you don't know how to get down to 140 feet, that is just above the donate button. See the donate button there? Scroll up just a little bit. The jigging lure. This is 1.25 ounces, and you don't have to use this lure. Just use something like it, but go deep. And that's how you get down there. But by now, if you guys are watching this channel, you already know. You already know. But good evening, everyone. So I'm going to stay on just for another 10 minutes or something like that. I got a little bit of time here before I cover my last topic of in my notes. Do you guys have any questions for me? All right, it's all good. So with the ice conundrum that we're having here is I'm looking at the weeks ahead, and there's nothing that's really that promising, as in it's not going to dive, it's not going to get real cold out or anything like that. So I think what I'm going to do, the perch fishing trip, and I think you're, Wyatt, I think you're referring to the ones up at Foster Sayers. Without the ice, I can't have an ice fishing event, but do look for that all year, like through the summer. I'm going to do some perch and crappie fishing at Foster Sayers from the boat. So that's still on the schedule. That hasn't gone anywhere. I love the lake, and I'm definitely going to work that into my rounds, and I think we all should. Being local from the area here, we should. But as far as the ice, it's really iffy whether we're going to get enough. Hydroco, yeah, there's a couple bait shops around the lake, yeah. I want to suggest that you go to Zane Weaver's. That's Rough and Ready. Rough and Ready Campground is what you're going to find. But Rough and Ready, and his name's Zane. It's a 24-hour shop, too, which means if you, and I've done it, I've showed up at 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 a.m. He wants you to do this. At 2 a.m., pull into the drive, beep, beep, give them 2 honks on the horn, and they'll come out to you. They're doing that so that they're available 24/7. They're just listening for the horn and such. So, yeah, absolutely. Go to Zane Weaver, and that's Rough and Ready, and that's real close to Shy Beaver Launch. That's where I'm going to tell you to go, because most of the other bait shops this time of year are actually shut down. At Raystown. Wyatt. Yeah, so the perch trips at Raystown, the white perch trips, those are still going to go on, of course. Yes, absolutely. I have some big plans for the perch fishing at Raystown Lake. Again, that was about the kids. The kids going perch fishing, guys. I wish you all were there. It was amazing. Just amazing. These kids just tossing perch into the tank, man. They had a great fishing day out there. I wish y'all could have seen it. So yes, there's going to be more to that. Yeah, so Hydrocoat, the parking lot there at Rough and Ready is fine. They pull campers in and out, so you should be okay with your boat, unless you have some monstrosity. But even then, you're probably fine. But just, do like you always do with the trailer, bring it in, kind of slow down and have a look, make a plan, and then pull in and swing your stuff around. But if you're pulling a boat at all, you have a little experience, you'll have no problem getting in and out of Zane's. Well, I think as far as a name for Foster's, I think the Ice Jam is perfect. I think the Ice Jam is perfect because it's supposed to be oriented for kids, and I think that seems like it's a good name for the kids. Foster Sayre, the Ice Jam. It doesn't even have to have the name of the lake in it. And call it the Randall Rydes, Randall's Ice Jam, or something like that. It'll be simple. We'll work it out, though. When it comes up, we'll be on the phone. As a matter of fact, let's talk tomorrow. Eric, I'm not sure what you mean. Fishing LZ? Yeah. Okay, landing zone. I gotcha. In the past couple of years, has there been any striper caught above 50 inches? It's a good question. I don't think I can answer it. I think a lot of the striper that are being caught, especially the large ones, whoever's catching them, they're not talking about it. Oh, I see. Yeah, so the veteran trip, Mark, that's actually it's an event, and then I want to try and string together. It's basically just to generate funds so that I can pay for, or we can pay for and provide fishing trips for veterans. 214 takeover. And Josh, I see you asking me by text here. Oh, okay. All right. Question for Randall. What's the crappie population like in Lewistown? And do I ever target them? Yeah, so there's plenty of crappie. Yeah, we catch them whenever we're going for perch. I would say that me personally, I catch a couple crappie. That's not, but I'm usually focusing on other fishing. So if you're bass fishing, if you're perch fishing, especially, you're gonna end up picking up some crappie. But yeah, there's plenty of crappie. There really are. I would say if you're gonna focus crappie fishing, you want to be south of the Entrican Bridge. Generally speaking, I would suggest that you stay south of the Entrican Bridge. Josh also asks, is there good fishing below the spillway? Another walleye there. There's somebody in the chat, maybe they have an answer for that. Is there good fishing below the spillway? And are there walleye there? All right, Josh. I'm going to answer yours up, Josh. I'm going to do that right now. Is it possible for striper fishing rookies to get into something in the spring at night? Of course. Absolutely. They come up shallow then to spawn. No, so no. I wouldn't say that they come up shallow to spawn. I think you're thinking of like to bank, angle, and target striper. You will catch striper from time to time. You guys have seen me do it on video from the bank, but there's always going to be some resident bass, including the striped bass, and it's really hard to predict. That's a tough question to answer because there's a lot of variables. A lot of it they come. So is it possible for striper fishing rookies to get into something in the spring at night? But I think that's a good attitude. The night bite is fantastic. I encourage everybody that fishes Lewistown Lake to go out for the night bite. It's a great time, very productive time to be on the water. I think everybody should do that. And I think I might start offering that too. Eric says there's good fishing below the spillway. Just got to wait for the water level to drop something. Yeah, right now it's, you're going to get swept away with the current. It's kind of wild. Those fish don't get washed out down all the way down to Harrisburg, huh? Glitchy says he hasn't seen any, but he has seen striper, smallies, tiger muskie, and lake trout. Wow. I figured we're talking about down below the spillway. And then what pound test is recommended for striper? Most of the bait casters are 17 or 20. That is very reasonable. Yep. Right now I'm running, what I tell people is to run a backing of 30 pound and a leader of 20. And that's more than what you're usually going to need. 20 pound as far as a leader, that's more than you're usually going to need. The issue is whenever you actually need it, you're going to want it because it's going to be a nice fish and you don't want to lose it simply because you had too weak of line on it. So 30 pound backing, I use braid for backing, and then 20 pound for a leader. And leader doesn't have to be crazy long. You can do a short leader. I would say no shorter than 6 foot. Good questions, Josh. Appreciate that. Josh couldn't get a message through on the live stream, so he just texted me. And that's a good thing for you guys. If you do not have my phone number in your phone yet, it's a perfect example right there. You can shoot me a text. I have it sitting in front of me. It's no problem for me to read it there or read it in the chat on the computer. So just send me a text. If you don't have my number, it's on my socials. Just grab it. It's on my website. It's all over the place. So just reach out to me anytime. All right. Good. All right, guys. So fishing. I plan to be on the water Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I do not have a single charter booked. So if you want to go fishing, reach out to me and we'll work it out. And if I get a couple people who are just one-off, they're like, hey, I want to go fishing, I'll do split trips and stuff. I'll work it out with you guys. It's no problem at all. So if you're interested, shoot me a text and or shoot me a message on Facebook, however you want to reach out to me, whatever it is. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be on the water, and hopefully you guys can come out too. It'll be a good time. It's going to be the best days we've had for a couple weeks. As far as the systems and such, so it should be really good. I'm leaning on the hope that because they've been inactive for a while, and now finally it's nice that they're all just going to gangbusters. They're all going to be fired up. We're hoping for that. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday should be really good. And I think there's some other charters going out too. So if I get packed up, it's no problem. I'll send a message to one of my buddies and we'll get you out on the water. But make it happen. Send me a message. Join us. Don't sit on the sidelines on this one. It's a great weekend to get out there. Let's do it. Also, I wanted to ask, if you will, below the videos, there are links for Amazon. The affiliate page, like I'm getting a lot of click-throughs for that. I really appreciate that, guys. That's amazing. So I had no idea, did not see it coming, but it looks like my Amazon affiliate links are going to be an income stream for me. So thank you. That's because of you guys. All you do is you click on it and you go do your shopping, and then Amazon sends me a small commission. But it's going to grow. But I've been seeing a lot of click-through on that. Very cool. Thank you. All right, so check it out. This is the final thing I wanted to cover for the night. This is the very last thing, and it's probably the most important thing that I'm going to cover tonight. And it's really simple. I know you guys blocked out a little bit of time to sit down and spend with me and just talk a little bit about fishing. So this is what I'm going to do. It is 8:40 right now. I usually stream from 8 to 9, which means I'm about 20 minutes short of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it down right now. What that means is you've dedicated a block of time. This other 20 minutes that's not going to get eaten up here on the live stream, I want you to take that and do something with your family. Go get somebody a drink from the fridge, give them a hug, tell them you love them, but spend that last 15 minutes and give it to them, not to me. The chat doesn't need it. We already have it. We're done with the stream. So go give your family some love. If you do that for me, I'll consider it a personal favor, and I'm going to let you go with that. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. That's it. Much love and much respect. Have a good night.